Hi everybody, it's Matt here, your local friendly neighbourhood vestibular migraine sufferer. I hope you're all well. Sorry it's been a while since I've done a video. I think it may have even been around Christmas time the last time I did one. I've just been rather busy really. I'm not really going to do an update video as to how I am. I'll probably save that for the vestibular anniversary, which is coming up in the next couple of months. So maybe I'll send myself a card or something like that. But what I thought I'd focus on today was the whole idea of triggers, so that, you know, trigger finger. So I think as time's gone on, I've been able to establish what some of my triggers are, and I thought I'd share them with you because you may have that. I think somebody must be sawing or drilling upstairs. I'm not farting, by the way. I've not got wind. I've not eaten beans. So apologies for that weird noise. Anyway, there we go again. Perhaps this wasn't the best time to do a video. Anyway, so triggers, and I thought some of my triggers, if I speak about them, might help you sort of think about what maybe things you maybe should avoid or things that you can maybe mitigate a little bit. So obviously the first one I think that is a trigger is when I feel under the weather or, you know, have a cold, and I think it's possible that my actual whole vestibular episode was originally triggered by a virus. I don't know. Usually the doctors and specialists find that quite tricky to actually ever really 100% confirm. But I do notice now, if I feel a bit under the weather, like I said, with a cold or whatever, I can feel that my vestibular side of things starts to go off a little bit. So I notice a bit of derealization. I notice the pressured head feeling, and also the feeling that, you know, your head's shaking inside, your brain's shaking inside your head, or you're in bed and your bed's being shook when there's no earth tremor. So I would say that is one of my triggers. Another trigger that I've noticed, and it's something that I'm now really mindful of, is a lack of sleep. So if I have a really late night, say it's a Friday night and I've been out socialising, having a few bevies, if I stay awake till something like 1, which I don't do much, but I do notice that the next day I am starting to feel some of those vestibular symptoms. I notice particularly derealization, and I just feel kind of crap. And I know you're probably all thinking, yeah, that's because you've been on the man's pot, but no, it's not that. It's hangovers don't feel like vestibular symptoms, if that makes sense. So I always now make sure I get a good early night in the working week, especially, you know, when I'm going to work the next day. And then if I do have a late night, because obviously they're unavoidable at times, and also you want to go out and socialise, and so you should. So I make sure that if I have a later one on the Friday, I then try and get an early night on Saturday. So I just end up taping Match of the Day and watching it the next day, which is really good actually, because then you can fast forward the boring analysis from Alan Shearer and company. So those are two triggers I noticed quite early on. And then I'd say a trigger which also noticed early on and still persists to this day is light. So that's particularly where I've got a lot of electric light, or, you know, light in supermarkets where it's incredibly bright, or strobe lights as course, and you know, they're actually flickering all the time, but you can't see it, but your eye's not picking it up, but it is actually happening. So they're a problem for me. And then I also noticed that when the light changes outside and it goes duller, so we get that problem a lot in the north, in England, in Sheffield. I noticed then that I think it's because then the electric lights become more prominent, and that just actually, I would describe it almost like sometimes it just feels like it completely trips me out. So I just kind of get overloaded with derealization and that kind of thing. So again, I think, you know, it's that whole process that when you've got this condition, your brain can get overloaded by sensory overload, and, you know, because of the vestibular issues you've got, and then that causes some of these symptoms like derealization. So that's definitely one. And a more recent one that I thought I'd share with you and see whether you guys maybe have it too is, I find that actually, I think a trigger for me is reading like black text on a white background, which is kind of screws you in a way, because most letters you receive are that kind of format. And of course the computer screen, Microsoft Word, is that format. So I do find that actually can cause me, again, as I mentioned, to trip out, and the derealization springs up. So what I've tried to do there is basically make sure that I've got my monitors dimmed nicely at work, put your phone into night mode, and then when it comes to reading letters, particularly if they're bills, I will just chuck them out, so I don't actually even read them. I'm only kidding, but I just don't really read much stuff on white and black background. So that was an unusual one that I think I've kind of only noticed fairly recently, that is a bit of a bugger for it. So they were the main ones I've noticed. I'm not really sure if there's many others. There's certainly certain patterns I can't look at very well. So I've got these nice pair of stripy trousers. I'm not wearing them today, so I won't stand up, but I can't look at those when I've put them on. So it's kind of a good job my legs and arse are under my work desk at work, because then I can't see them, so I'm typing away and not looking down. Bit of a bugger though, I suppose, if I need to go to the loo, but anyway, that's a different matter. So I'd say they're my main triggers. And of course, one of the big ways in which you can mitigate, haven't got them to hand today, but check out some of my other videos, is if you're feeling like the computer screen is starting to trip you out, or the light in the supermarket starting to make you feel funny, make sure you get some FL41 lenses. Like I said, Mike Dixon, UK Eye Sports, where he does them. He also now does a service where he puts those lenses in some of your glasses, so your trendy glasses now, so you don't have to look like Bono. I think I've done another video with the trendy glasses on, so you can just replace. So you can actually recycle your old glasses that are no good to you anymore because your prescription's gone out of date. So I just sent him a pair of those, and he puts FL41 lenses in for you at your current prescription if you tell him what that is. So make sure you do that, because that does really help mitigate, particularly the light and the derealization that comes with that. So, you know, please consider it. And if you're in America, it's is it Axon? I can't remember now. It's been a while since I actually looked at their website. Axon Optics, I think it's called. So there we go. So yeah, I thought I'd share those with you. As I said, it's been a while since I've done a video. I will be doing a video as I get closer to my anniversary, and share with you how I think I've been going. I won't give too many spoilers, but I did have a little bit of a dip the other week, and again, I think that was caused by these triggers, particularly the white background and the black text. So anyway, I won't do any more spoilers than that. We don't want spoilers leaking all over the internet like we had with the crappy Fall of Skywalker recently. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Remember, as you were, you'll be again. Cheers. See you later. Bye.